Hey everybody, Tanya here. Welcome to another edition. I picked up this little treasure box at Michael's and I'm going to turn it into something super special for a special person in my life. So if you'd like to see how this was done, stick around and find out. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is take some tin foil, make it nice and crinkly, and I'm just going to be gluing it on with Mod Podge in random places around the box. And this is going to add some nice texture to the piece. And I want to saturate both sides of the tin foil to make sure that it's very secure, and I will come back in later and do another layer of Mod Podge after the first layer has dried, just to get any edges that might be sticking up. Next, I have some craft paper that I've cut into rectangles and squares. This is the color theme that I have for this project, and I'm going to Mod Podge it both sides to secure and decorate the inside of the box. Now I'm going in with some bin primer. I have put masking tape over the bottom of the box to protect that paper, and after I thought about it, I could have waited to do the primer because I'm going to be adding some trinkets on the outside before I paint, so I could have actually done the primer later, but I end up doing it twice, and that's okay. And here I'm just shaving off any excess paper to make the edge nice and smooth. And as always, no project is complete without my supervisor looking on. Next, I'll be gluing on some charms on the outside. I have some steampunk themed gears that I'm going to add to the piece. I have some new molds that I wanted to check out, so I'm using casting resin. You just do equal parts A and B, and you mix it for about 20 to 30 seconds. You want to work quick with this kind of resin because it does harden within about 10 minutes, which makes it nice when you're working on a project and you want to keep things moving. Usually when I mix this resin, I have a little bit left over and I don't want to waste it, so I'm putting it into 2 different molds and then deciding which one I want to go with. I decided to go with this one for the inside top. I don't have it on video, but I did add a few of the trinkets on the inside of the top here as well. I had this mold that I had not used yet, so I decided it would look good on the top here. You might also notice going forward that I have added a mold around the bottom edge of the box. Apparently I forgot to put that on video, but it is there. It's kind of a rope looking mold that looks really nice with this piece. I like to personalize these projects for the people I'm making them for, and this one is for my brother who lives in Florida. I'll be mailing it to him as a surprise for his birthday this month. And to add more interest and detail, I've added these M&M glass tiles. I scuffed them up just a tad. I was kind of worried the slick surface might not take the primer and paint, so did a little scuff on them, added some more trinkets here until it was just right. And now we go back for the second round of primer. Like I said, I could have done this all at once, but that's okay. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll notice the mold around the bottom of the box, also making sure that has some primer on it. Now the really fun part begins. I am mixing up 2 different shades of purple. I want one darker and one lighter. Purple is my brother's favorite color, so there was no question this is what was going to happen. Once I mixed the shades I was looking for, I started out with the light purple. I covered the entire box inside and out. Now it's going to be a combination of using a tiny little brush, and then I'll be using a crafting sponge, which you just moisten it and dip it in your paint. I'm adding little details here and there of the darker shade of the purple. Going in with different shades and textures really creates a lot of depth and interest. This was a really fun process. I loved watching it come to life. After a while, I mixed up a third color that was even lighter. It was almost a pink. I thought it needed a little more contrast. Next, I'll be using some gilding wax to add the final details. I have black and gold, and I never did end up using any of the black. It wasn't really necessary. Adding the gold on here is where things really start to pop. Here I'm going in with just a watered down paintbrush. I want to blend it to make it look a little more cohesive, and in the process it brings out that crinkle of the tin foil, which is really nice. And again, just doing some light airbrushing with the gold. This really brings everything together. I love it so much. My brother has been a huge blessing to me in life, and we've leaned on each other quite a bit through some heavy-duty trials in this life, and this is a small token of my love and appreciation for you and all that you are to me. I hope you enjoy this for a very long time. Now the final step, I'm going to do a couple of coats of shellac with some drying time in between, and this is finished. Thank you all for watching and sharing this journey of art and personal growth with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't wait to do more.